On this edition of Training Camp Live presented by American Airlines, we're all about the team drills, team red zone, and so much more. Watch a one-handed grab from CeeDee Lamb and a pick from Trevon Diggs. It sounds like 2021, right? Right here on Training Camp Live. Welcome into the third edition of Training Camp Live presented by American Airlines alongside Rob Phillips. I'm Kyle Youmans. It's going to be a heavy red zone day is what Mike McCarthy said. We might get a chance to see some red zone throughout this episode, but really we're going to get to see quite a bit. Let's go to the field already, right to where you want to watch. And let's go Dak Prescott in the shotgun at the moment. I believe we're looking toward the end zone here. This is a Hail Mary drill. This is late in the day. And how about late on the sideline, CeeDee Lamb with a one-handed grab.
There's something about CeeDee Lamb in Oxnard, California. He did that on the regular last year at training camp and obviously off to a good start this year.
So as I was saying, this is late game scenarios. We're working down the field. This is a continuous drill with the first team. They sprinkle in some guys, but really they want Dak Prescott to kind of work the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, they're working on situations. They did a 2-minute end of half yesterday situational drill that the defense won. So Dak's trying to get the better of the defense this time.
Schultz, Brown, Lamb out there as receivers. Now Rico Dowdle working to the outside as well as he goes in motion. 3 to the left. Dak plenty of time, steps up, throws a laser to Noah Brown in the end zone for the score. So successful up to this point. Now they go inside the 10-yard line.
Nice catch from Noah Brown. Had a nice catch earlier in this period before we started filming, and he's one of the guys that's a holdover from these past few seasons where it's kind of a revamped receiver group we're looking at here.
This is the first team drill of practice number 3, and up to this point, really the defense has seemed ahead, but the offense, at least early in this practice, looking like they're a little bit more crisp.
Absolutely, and we've seen some young receivers step up and make some catches. We've seen Jalen Tolbert, number 18, do that as well. Dennis Houston, undrafted rookie, number 3, who has shown up so far in practice, and Dak's just trying to get on the same page with some of the new guys.
So CeeDee Lamb in the slot. You've got Kelvin Joseph on Jalen Tolbert off to the right. They're going to loft it up for Sean McCune, just overthrown in the back of the end zone. And so the offense will give another go at it. Some of the guys that we've seen sprinkled throughout, Israel Mukuamu getting plenty of playing time. A lot of secondary guys, especially young ones that are getting key reps early in training camp.
Yeah, and at the safety position too. You mentioned Mukuamu. He's a young guy that they like his potential. They like what he could bring on special teams, and that's a position that the Cowboys have kind of made over the last couple of years. I think they feel better about it overall with Malik Hooker, obviously with Jaron Kearse, and Marquise Bell is another rookie to watch in these practices at the safety position.
So now Cooper Rush will get an opportunity to run with 30 seconds left. The offense has 1 timeout. You've got to score. That's the scenario that John Fossil has just given us as the head referee and as somebody on the mic. So it's Rush off of the shotgun, good pressure off the edge, and that one thrown to Jeremy Sprinkle for the first down. What do you expect out of Cooper Rush? We haven't had a chance to really talk about him yet.
Yeah, I think his command of the offense is what attracts the Cowboys to him in that number 2 role. And look, he went out and showed that he could win a start last year on Halloween in Minnesota. He's been in this offense seemingly forever. I mean, going back to being a teammate of Kellen Moore before Moore became the OC.
So since they are going the opposite direction, we may have a chance to look at the defense a little bit here. Leighton Vander Esch out there, DeMarcus Lawrence. See Anthony Brown now, Jordan Lewis coming to the near side with Trevon Diggs. Speaking of Diggs, there's interception number 1 for him this training camp.
He wants the top 11. He said, beat my 11 from this past year. And you see the pace of practice. This is a ramp-up period. Pads come on Monday. But they are working through situations, Kyle, and guys keep talking about that last drive against San Francisco in the playoffs last year. Situational football, so important to success in this league.
A secondary that led the NFL in interceptions last season. TJ Vasher now back on offense. Aaron Champlin in the backfield, and that's a sack. How about Leighton Vander Esch, DeMarcus Lawrence, and a slew of Cowboys defenders in the vicinity. Not only was it a sack, but then on the Hail Mary attempt here at the end of the drill, Jaron Kearse comes up with the pick. All right, now we get some fun stuff. How about red zone work, team red zone? This is getting physical, even without the pads, as Dak rolls out to his right and gets that one batted away by Leighton Vander Esch. That might have been a pick if he didn't run into Quinton Bohanna.
You know, that great play by Vander Esch, just good awareness. And he talked about the other day, you know, a big linebacker like him who can obviously play sideline to sideline and cover too. Drop into coverage, make plays. That's what makes him one of the leaders on this defense.
It's a first-team offensive line. Looks like much of the first-team offense in general, with the exception of Zach Martin. Instead, got Connor McGovern at right guard. Toss back to Zeke. He bobbled it initially. Can he catch the edge? Leighton Vander Esch is there. Back-to-back nice plays from 55 from the second level. Could be a big year for Vander Esch. First fully healthy offseason, or coming off of a fully healthy season overall, and he's made a couple nice plays throughout the spring and then, of course, now into training camp as well.
You think about his role too. The Cowboys play a lot of 3 safety, so he's relied on as a key linebacker in this group here.
Had 140 tackles as a rookie, 77 last year in all 17 games for the Cowboys. Here's Cooper Rush under center, and they put a man in motion. There's Cavante Turpin, and his first team action for the Cowboys was only in individual drills yesterday, and then you see the speed and the acceleration he can have, especially when he's put in motion.
He's 5'9". He told us yesterday he's 155 pounds, so not the biggest offensive skill player you'll see in the NFL, but he's got that quickness and that explosion. And Mike McCarthy said a little bit of Tony Pollard in terms of being a space player for them potentially.
We've seen that pre-snap look a couple of different times throughout training camp, something that the Cowboys did employ quite a bit in 2021. Now Rush is back in the shotgun. Gifford coming off the edge. He provided for a little bit of trouble. They go back to the right side of the field, and that's Aaron Shamplin with the reception, and I believe he got to the pylon as well. So second-team speedsters showing out here in the red zone.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, we talk about the running game is important, but Mike McCarthy also talks about ball distribution. And Kellen Moore, too. You get the ball in the hands of your running backs, whether it's a handoff, whether it's a screen. You can kind of look at it the same way. As long as you're getting yards, who cares?
Something else to note, Josh Ball playing left tackle. Matt Willetsko left practice yesterday with a shoulder injury. And now Rush finding Noah Brown, who was covered by Kelvin Joseph on that far side.
And to your point, Kyle, it's interesting. Mike McCarthy mentioned Tyler Smith, first-round draft pick. He'd been working in the offseason at tackle and guard. So far, just rotating at left guard with the first team with Connor McGovern. They want him to feel comfortable on that side. And I don't know if Willetsko's injury is going to change that right now, for as long as he's out.
Back to the first team we go. James Washington out there as well. He was a little banged up after the first practice, but he's been available for all 3 of these sessions. Now Dak going under center from just about the 14-yard line. They go the opposite direction. Massive humanity on the run attempt and pushed out of bounds.
Little handoff to 88.
This is also fun to see Sam Williams, number 54 in the blue, working on the defensive side of things. A lot of first-team defenders out there, and Sam Williams right in the middle of it.
He's going to have, Kyle, I don't know if he's going to be a starter week 1. I don't know if that matters because Dan Quinn's going to play a lot of guys, and he's going to play a lot in different situations. He played in different spots on the D-line at Ole Miss, and I think that might be the case here too.
Coming off the edge here against Tyron Smith. Great job by Smith picking him up, but then you've got Tony Pollard weaving through traffic and finding the goal line for the score. That's a successful couple reps for the offense.
And that's a perfect example of what TP can do. Just get the ball in his hands and with a little space to work, and he can get some yards after the catch for you.
Now both Tyler Smith and Connor McGovern in on offense. Smith's at the left guard spot, McGovern back at right guard. Normal tackles, and Smith to the left, and then, of course, Terrence Steele to the right.
Jalen Tolbert in motion.
Here's Prescott, plenty of time.
Oh, we got a flag.
And a throw into the end zone,
Free
batted
play.
around. It was a free play, so you could force it a little bit there. But, again, Anthony Brown getting the hand on the football. Even with the free play, you like to see his pass breakups continuing to be a trend.
Mike McCarthy told us, the media, we all need to give AB a little more love, and I think he's right. I mean, tied for the second most interceptions behind Diggs last year, second most PBUs with 17. That was his best year of his career last year. He's become a cornerstone for them right now at corner.
Let's see what Ben DiNucci can do from the quarterback position. Rico Dowdle with the handoff. Of course, no tackling at this point. Let's outline some of these defenders on the field. Israel Mukwamu's subbing in for Marquise Bell. Tyler Coyle, who I thought really had a nice spring, second-year undrafted player out of Purdue. He's out at safety. Marcavius Bryant in at the edge rusher spot. Bootleg out to the right, and it's DiNucci throwing in the traffic. That was Israel Mukwamu, went in and out of the hands.
We just talked about him earlier. Just that, second year, a little more recognition in the system, and a nice play on the ball there. Not sure where DiNucci was going with that one.
I was about to ask, where was he going? There were a couple blue jerseys around. Looked like he ran out of time as the defensive line was hot in pursuit. A couple more plays here on Training Camp Live, presented by American Airlines. Glad you're with us. It's only day 3 of training camp. We've got plenty more to come here on DallasCowboys.com. Semi Fehoko working from right to left prior to the snap. He's going to go that direction. That was Isaac Taylor Stewart, the rookie out of USC, in coverage. He looked like he just ran into Fehoko, no flag thrown.
Space gets tighter down there. A lot tougher to make something happen down there in that tight quarters.
We'll treat you to one more play since the first team's heading back out here, both on offense and on defense. Carlos Watkins getting some snaps. So is Quentin Bohanna at the 1 technique. You got Watkins at the 3. Noah Brown out there. Tony Pollard in the slot. They hand it off to Zeke right up the middle, and he works his way in. I don't know if he would have been brought down in a play like that. Great blocking up front.
Yep, nice vision by Zeke. That's about as much as he's going to get touched in a Cowboys practice and maybe throughout preseason. We'll see how much work he gets. He doesn't get it a lot during preseason usually.
Let's go ahead and wrap things up here on Training Camp Live. Rob, based on what you've seen, a lot of red zone work throughout the day today. Anything stick out to you? Yeah,
just working situations, and trying to keep everybody up, nobody getting injured, and some good work, some good between the tackles stuff for the guys up front, both offensive line, defensive line, before the pads come on, and it really gets physical.
And we're getting some contact right behind. I'm trying to protect Alex Lilly. That's the problem. He's the man behind the camera. That's who I'm really concerned about. That does it for us here on Training Camp Live, presented by American Airlines. For Rob Phillips, I'm Kyle Youmans. We'll see you tomorrow.